Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of I Cast Fireball, an actual play 5e D&D adventure where we go through the campaign Tyranny of Dragons. I'm Thomas, your DM for this adventure, and around the table we have...
Malamara.
Lance Thalen.
Fleeple.
And Ralph.
We've got Josh roped in for another episode here, contractually obligated to keep showing up, and we will see how long we can get that contract to extend, but Josh, thank you so much for joining us again.
Guys, my price triples after episode 7. That's the...
So this will be Josh's last episode on Well, let's jump back to where our adventurers are at. They braved the treacherous waters below Lottie's place in Neverwinter, using some clever shape changes and some help with each other. After rolling some random encounters, they were able to revive Ralph, swim to deeper waters away from the cliffs, and to safety on the sandbank in Neverwinter, where immediately Ralph was set upon by the crocodile Fleeple.
Fleeple-dial?
There you go. Fleeple-dial, and Lance poisoning Ralph. After stealing all of Ralph's stuff, really just holding on to it and dumping out his entire contents of his bag of holding in a safe, secluded place away from prying eyes, at least immediately prying eyes, the Jank Squad woke Ralph. Tied up, not necessarily gagged, but definitely surrounded, we come to our group.
And I have disarmed him. I have taken the belt of... Oh, what's his face? Why am I blanking on the name?
Jeremy. It's Jeremy.
I've taken the belt, the holster of Jeremy, and kind of put it off to the side that can't be seen.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't worry, Jeremy. I will find you.
I will not worry. I'll just dispel my way through this.
I'm alive. You didn't kill me. I really thought you were gonna just straight kill me there. I mean,
I did.
I did. What? Not all. You didn't finish. I mean, I'm
not
still
yet.
here.
No, not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
No.
Well, I will take. Every moment is a gift.
You picked the wrong employer.
You think I picked my employer? That's really kind of you. Come on, man. What do you think? Do you think I chose this life? Do you think I chose to have this big stupid thing tattooed on my chest, or to be of this magical, beautiful elf creature that's bound to all these different nefarious ne'er-do-wells having to sneak around? I should be a creature of the woods, beautiful and proud, and I'm not at all.
And all of you do see exposed underneath his open shirt that tattoo of the winged serpent.
Honestly, I would choose a nautical star before this stupid serpent with wings. Anybody who knows tattoos gets that reference.
We're out of hard depth over here.
Fleeple's just got sleeves.
Yeah. You guys have been you've been pretending to be bad guys to figure your way around. I've been bad guy for a long time. And I'll tell you right now, it's not fun. It's not great. You don't choose to do that stuff.
Mal pulls Lance back away from Ralph, and I assume Fleeple is right there with us. And she just asks in that same odd ethereal voice, is this really necessary?
What? Talking?
All of this tying him up with the bag and everything? Why don't we just let him go? What even happened upstairs?
Okay. I would like to speak.
That sounds creepy over there.
Shut up.
I can't hear it.
I'll throw one of my daggers next to him in the sand. One of the ones that disappears from my bracer.
And Lance and Fleeple, it is unnerving. This has never occurred with Mal, and you obviously know the cause. You know the reason why. It's her patron, Air 2.
I would like to, looking at the figure of Malamara, I will say, I would appreciate speaking to Malamara alone.
Yes, I think that can be arranged.
No, not with you. No, I mean,
Oh, kind pure Fleeple. Just like, oh, well, of
Fleeple's
course,
like,
yes.
well, fly then. Just
Me and Ralph are going to go terrorize some tourists.
And gamble at Lottie's place.
no, Fleeple, I didn't mean. And I'll just like stare into Malamara's eyes, which I believe you described as almost clouded over. And I will just like look into them, almost purposely trying to look at something other than Malamara in there, and just repeat it. I would like to speak to Malamara alone.
Mal, go and roll a wisdom saving throw.
That would be a natural 20 plus 4 is a 24.
Suck it, demon!
You stare into Lance's eyes, hearing him repeat himself, and you come to. You know how, like, sometimes you go about certain actions in a daze, just as they're almost rote, and you aren't fully present, you're somewhere else. But when Lance speaks to you and calls to you, it snaps your attention to him. You come to, and Lance, you see her eyes go not so cloudy. They start to clear. Her muscles start to relax. She shrinks ever so slightly down. And Mal, you're staring back at Lance, and then all of a sudden you blink and, whoa, where was I? You ask yourself. Like, you just sort of think it to yourself.
She stumbles a little bit. She stumbles almost into Lance to regain her balance.
Well, I'll grab her by the shoulders.
And really coming to that realization, and those words, finally, you know, when you hear something but you don't really hear it, and then it clicks. Those words really hitting her that she was not herself. And she, that kind of scares her a little bit, that Air 2 has never had this kind of hold on her before. So she straightens up using Lance's shoulder to steady her, shakes her head, and tries to push through that fear by focusing on Lance.
Hey, you there? Is it you?
Yeah, sorry.
Are you okay?
Yes. I'm not important right now. What is important is what happened with him. We were upstairs, we had a plan, and then everything shattered. What happened? Who is this guy to you? Why did we tie him up? He like 15 minutes ago we were hanging out playing casino games together. Lance, what happened?
You got to play casino game? Oh, okay. I didn't get to do that. There's a lot of things in there. We did have a plan. He went rogue. Haha. And he works for, or is in the employment of, a Vandal. My former employer. And Vandal, as we heard, was looking for a mask. Ralph here tried to steal the mask. I asked him if he worked for Vandal in the middle of a very heated battle, and he does. And I need to get to the bottom of it.
Okay. You take the lead. Let's get our information.
Okay. And I'll just look over at Fleeple, who I believe is probably like standing next to us, and I'm like, good constable, bad constable.
I look over at Ralph, and I just walk up next to him and I slap him across the face.
As you're walking up, I'm going like, you know, the smell of the ocean is a lot nicer after you realize you're still alive. Slap right in the face.
You're going to be smelling the ocean from underneath it if you don't talk.
I gotta roll I'm rolling total insight on that, on how actually intimidated I am. I saw you. I feel like not do the greatest job intimidating a bunch of teenagers that you decided to let live. So,
Fleeple, go and roll an intimidation check.
As a high school teacher, I'll say there's few things that can really intimidate a ne'er-do-well teenager.
Yeah, so Fleeple, roll intimidation, and Ralph, go and roll insight with advantage then. Yeah.
Dirty 20.
I got a 13.
Okay.
I'm going to go, oh no, I'm so scared.
As you should be.
There is some fire in his eyes, but if he's going to throw you in the ocean, he's still on the fence. He's not 100% that he's going to throw you in the ocean, but...
You got all the leverage here, my guys. I'm whoa, all right? You can kill me again if you want. You don't need to scare me anymore.
Okay, listen. I don't care about your excuses of, oh, you're trapped in some nefarious means. Everyone has choices, all right? I care about why you're here and what you are doing.
Okay, I mean, you're the mark, my man. Like, that is...
Who marked me?
Vandal. Absolutely. Who else would?
Okay.
Look, here's the deal. I through however many unfortunate circumstances, have found myself in the explicit employ of your old boss, who has caught wind, because you guys haven't been very sneaky as you should be when you're fighting a cult of dragon lovers. They know you're out here, okay? Your little group is the thing, and it's not good. And so I was sent to figure out what's going on, maybe kill you, maybe kill Rezmir, recover the mask, any other dragon stuff I can, and, report back to the big man. So, I found you pretty flippin' easily, by the way. Anybody who can cast locate person can get close enough to figure you out, even if you're dressed up like an orc.
I mean, you were in a cage, technically.
How do you think I got in a cage? You think they actually caught me? Those little idiots?
Hey, the teenagers of Neverwinter can go through anything. No,
yeah,
I'm joking.
Yeah. I knew where you guys were headed. I knew what kind of situation would get me into the good graces. I'm putting it all on the carpet, okay? This is everything. You dumped my bag. All right? Nothing else to hide. I don't like Vandal. You seem like a pretty good person. Aside from the surprise killings. But I think we can all do something really, really good here, and I can help you. And without any more fighting between us, we can be allies. And I can get Vandal off your back.
I look over at Fleeple, just kind of like wondering his kind of thoughts on what's going on right now. Just kind of considering everything that's been said.
I'm going to slap Ralph in the face again and say, I need to confer with my compatriot.
Oh my gosh.
And I pull Lance off to the side.
While the Lance and Fleeple are having a conversation, Mal would like to kneel down next to Ralph and have a conversation. So 2 conversations happening at the same time.
I am actually intimidated right now. I do not like that I'm being left alone with her. She's out of the 3 of them the one, I feel the least capable of managing.
Yeah, I'll pull Lance off to the side and say,
This seems to be stuff that is in your baggage, as it were. If you feel, whatever you feel like you want to do, I will go along with. I mean, you guys have helped me so much along my journey, helping me to figure out what I wanted out of life and what I wanted to do about, being draconic and trying to fight against it. I think it's time that I helped out you with what you want.
Lance is genuinely kind of taken aback by just how sincere that was. I mean, not that I've always seen Fleeple sincere, but he's never had that much sincerity about his own feelings from someone really before. And he's just like, I appreciate that. I really do. I try to cover things up not very well, but I'm legitimately scared right now, Fleeple. We helped you, all willingly, but there's a key difference here, Fleeple. You are inherently good. I'm not. And I want to kill this man every second we talk to him.
I am going to reach out my claws and place one on each of Lance's shoulders. I'm going to stare into his eyes, and then I'm going to smack him across the face. And as I do that, I'm going to cast heroism on him, and I'm going to say,
Lance Thalen, stop saying that you're inherently bad. I was literally born to be the spawn of evil, and look at me now. If I can turn around, then there's nothing in that little heart of yours, and I just poke him right in the chest, that says you are inherently evil. I have seen nothing but good from you.
Thank you.
Fleeple, take an inspiration.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was
so
awesome.
good.
That was good.
oh, thank you.
Those are moments you pray for as a dungeon master. That was really good.
Thank you, Fleeple. And Lance will just kind of sit there thinking for a second.
And after you've had some time to process, I'm going to say,
Now, you've got a lot of pent-up aggression, I see. You say that every second you talk to this man you want to kill him. What if we put all of that away from Ralph for the moment and just think about Vandal instead?
I'll try.
We killed Rezmir, we killed whatever that Wizard of Thay, I don't know if we ever really got their name. We killed both of them.
I didn't get a name. I just saw a puff of smoke and he was gone.
Exactly. We've killed them, we've killed Mondath. I think we can take Vandal.
Vandal won't ever face someone head on, and that's what's trickiest about him. He waits for the advantage, and then he'll strike. Like an old figure called Batman. But a bad Batman.
Like a man bat.
Like a man bat.
Like a man bat.
Yes.
Ironically, also copyrighted.
Yeah, that's
yeah, the very first episode of Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. Like a bat person.
Okay, move on.
All right. I will turn around, and I'll with Fleeple walk back toward Ralph.
So while they were talking and Mal was kneeling next to Ralph, she pulls out of her pouch at her side this silver disc. She touches it lightly to Ralph's chest and then holds it up for him to see. And it's the same symbol of the winged serpent.
Oh.
What is this?
What are you doing with that? Why do you where did you find that? I'll tell you everything. You listen, just don't do the whole crazy obliterate my face thing that you did to Rezmir. That's the mark of the Zentrum. That is the winged serpents there. That's how you know you're dealing with them.
What is it? A clandestine group? What is it?
It's I mean, I like to think of us as more of like a collective of like-minded individuals who just don't believe in the established order of society. There are, every group like that's got good eggs, bad eggs. I like to think I'm like a medium egg.
What's their purpose? What do they do?
Mostly thieving, robbing, criminal activity, the black markets. Have you ever heard of the Black Network? Okay, that you don't need to, but that's kind of their deal. So, yeah, I've been with them since I was little. So, this my whole life's been with somebody who's passed me around different owners or masters.
I was working a caravan a couple of months ago down in Greenest. And when they packed up and headed out, this was left behind. Any idea why?
I mean, good chance somebody in there was one of us. We're all over the place, and I couldn't tell you where all of us are. This is a vast organization. And, I'm kind of a rising star, not the greatest. This mission didn't go exactly as it was supposed to. Or did it? I don't know. We'll see.
She glares at him. So you're a Zentrum, but you're also working for a Vandal? How does that work?
How do you think that works?
Wouldn't be asking the question if I knew that, would you? She says, thinking that sounds really cool and mysterious.
I mean, if I've served a bunch of different people in the Zentrum, and I'm currently working for Vandal. I think it should be pretty clear he's got some ties to that organization. Do I need to spell it out?
By this point, the other guys are walking back over. So Vandal is in the Zentrum?
Yeah, like he's like not just in the Zentrum. He's a big boy.
He's very big. As I walk up.
Yeah.
In the organization.
You do not want to be on his radar. So.
Well, we already are on his radar, so don't give us excuses. And I smack him across
A lot
the
of
face.
days. Oh, good.
I love this good constable that Fleeple's got.
Yes, the Zentarum are a great organization of thievery, debauchery, slavery, human trafficking, and much more.
Hey, you know what? We also break up, oligarchies and,
To form your own, yes.
So there's some Robin Hood types. I mean,
Is that what you tell yourself to belong?
I tell myself that any day is my last, and I'll just enjoy what I can while I can.
No matter who it hurts.
When does that ever matter to me? Look. You have a very serious issue to deal with. You could kill me, sure, solve a little bit of an emotional problem for you, I suppose. But the bigger issue here is you're on the map, gang. What do you think happens next? Help me out here. Let's walk through it, okay? 2 major players just got taken out. Rezmir and the Red Wizard of Thay. Do you guys have any idea what the Wizards of Thay are doing right now with the Dragon Cult?
Well, ostensibly, they're probably doing something they're trying to bring Tiamat back. That's kind of the whole shtick, right?
Yes. You need 2 pieces of this. You need the masks the Dragon Cult have collected, and you need the Red Wizards, and you need their magic. So, this is a bad team-up for everybody, and Vandal knows that. He's trying to worm his way in, so to speak, and not just as a minor player, as a big player. So this move is what he wanted. He wanted Rezmir dead, and he wanted chaos in the organization. That's good for someone who's looking for power grab. So whether you realize it or not, Lance, you helped out Vandal. And if you kill me, all you're going to do is make it incredibly clear that you're still alive.
Well, it seems that he already knows that because you told him. That's what you just told us.
Who do you think sent me to find you in the first place? If you kill me, there's a dozen other little servants, and some of them are way meaner than me. I'm a pretty darn nice guy. There's some real shady folk that would come after you. Look. Hey, listen, let me ask you a question. Have I hit any of you? Have I made any attack?
What happens to you if you go back without Rezmir, without the wizard, without the mask?
That is a good question. I don't want to go back. I want to make a power play. And I think that I am set up for it. Look, Vandal loves me. I get stuff done. I'm very quiet. Not a lot of people even know that I exist. If I do a good job with this job, there's a chance I get to sit in Rezmir's place.
But you didn't do a good job. You failed.
Did I though? If I report to Vandal that Rezmir's dead, the Red Wizard's dead, there's a huge power vacuum, and I'm right here. I mean, who better than me to step in for Vandal and hold the seat of power here in Neverwinter? And I can even tell him that Lance is dead. And you guys become ghosts.
But you still won't have the mask.
Yeah, that's a problem. That is a legitimate problem.
For you, it's a problem, and I smack him.
Oh, okay.
I just love the back and forth. The Fleeple comes and contributes to the whole conversation.
I'm a pretty good liar. I could at least buy you some time. I mean, listen, the masks don't matter until they're all together.
Mal will pull Lance's shoulder back for another private conversation. And I assume Fleeple comes as well. Unless he wants to keep
No,
slapping
Fleeple just
around
keeps
Ralph.
smacking him.
I will join along for the sidebar.
Lance,
I'll wait over here. Take your time, guys.
and this will be quiet enough that Ralph cannot easily overhear it.
Yes.
Unlike every other conversation.
What are you guys talking about? Oh, you talking about Neverwinter?
All right, Lance, listen. I know this isn't what you want, but I think we should let him go back. And here's why. The negatives of having him go back, I think, are minimal enough, but having somebody that we know in power may be really beneficial to us. If we could convince him to lie for us, awesome. But heaven forbid he goes back and tells this whole story, it's the same as if we killed him. But if he does take over Rezmir's place and goes back to them, I mean, we at least maybe know somebody on the inside then. We could have a contact. Or Vandal will kill him for us.
Lance is just generally like so all over the place right now because he's usually great in these situations, but he has so much emotion that he almost always takes out of the situations that he can't like wrap his brain around what's going on, because everything that Mal's saying makes sense. Everything that Ralph said kind of makes sense, even though he kind of suspects that he's half crapping himself with it. Just like, oh yeah, I can totally take over positions of power. Like he's like, okay, you're hoping this isn't like a solid contract for it, but he's just so like lost, and it's just obvious probably to Mal and to Fleeple, just like with just how confused he looks right now, and he's just. That sounds smart. I'm proud of you for that. Very proud of you for that. He was sent to murder us.
He was sent to find us.
He said murder.
One guy against the three of us. He was sent to find us, to test our skill. If he does not come back, Vandal knows how powerful we are.
He also says he's a good liar. But the first thing he did was massage someone's feet. I don't buy that. Wasn't a good lie. Wasn't a good entrance play. Really worried about his persuasive skills. Okay, let me talk to him. Let me talk to him.
We'll go back over.
I will.
This line in the sand that you keep, that you, the Jank Squad keep, you have started creating a small line back and forth from your quiet meeting place to discuss him and back to Ralph and this path. Lance, as you walk back to the path, you just look down and see this small rut beginning to form, and you just think about like the rut that you've been in your life, and you just think about what Vandal has done to you and how it has affected you. And this rut in the sand just seems to perfectly encapsulate what you described yourself, Jacob, for Lance, of genuinely all over the place. Just when it comes to Vandal, it seems like the only emotion, the only line, the only direction is fear and confusion. And all of this is swirling around your heart and your head as you walk back to Ralph yet again.
This whole time Lance has been talking to Ralph. He's been kind of standing over him. And this is the first time that Lance will actually like sit down on the ground in front of him.
I lean my cheek over to Fleeple.
Slap him just for old time's sake.
All right. Glad you got that out of the way.
Are you genuine in your offer to return to Vandal, to tell him we are dead, we are gone, we're wiped? You're not getting the mask back. You're going to have to come up with something about that.
I listen. Being fast on my feet is what I do.
I would like to roll insight on this.
Absolutely. And Ralph, go and roll persuasion or deception, whichever one you are being right now.
I mean, I don't like the idea of not having the mask, but living is good. My persuasion's 5, and I I am being honest. That is you've literally the last half day you've spent watching me be fast on my feet, getting out of ridiculous situations.
Okay. Yeah, I rolled a 16 for it, so.
I mean, you never even saw me steal that tooth.
It's true. As you crawled over me in a free fall.
And Lance, you see that Ralph is trying to be straightforward with you. I mean, and he's doing everything he can right now. And through the 16, you can see through a bit of his mask, and you can see the actual Ralph underneath. That Ralph who has known to stay alive for the entirety of his elf lifehood. And he stays alive by knowing when to deal, knowing who to work for, when to work. And in this moment, you see a resolve on Ralph's face and in his body language, which gives you some confidence, Lance.
Sitting in the sand, Lance will look kind of, I would imagine, Fleeple and Malamar are kind of at his shoulders, kind of next to him, facing Ralph. Lance will kind of look up at both of them and just be like, could you give me a second alone with him?
That can be arranged.
Looks over at Malamar. You can trust me.
I would like to roll insight on that.
Honestly, Mal is going to as well. As she's looking into his eyes, she's going to insight.
Really bad 10.
Not much
is he
better.
going to kill me?
It's an 11.
We'll get we got Ralph's roll, we got Mal's roll 11, and Lance. Go and roll persuasion. Let's have you do a persuasion check here. A lot of checks in
That's
this
going to be
episode.
persuasion. I'm terrible at. It's going to be a 2.
What do they see when they look upon your face?
Mal sees, because she sees all of it, because I'm looking at her. She sees kind of like just this. I mean, he has a lot of emotion going on right now, but she sees like a genuine, like, I need this. I need you. Like, just like it's the same face he gave to her when he told her that he trusts her with her demon.
So seeing that face and remembering that emotion, she, because she's kneeling down at the same level that he is, uses his shoulder to stand up. And as she passes by him, she says, I trust you. And then removes her hand and follows Fleeple off down our little rut over to our quiet place.
Oh, no.
And I would say then Ralph sees just this face of genuine, like I would say a trust pass between Malamara and Lance.
And Fleeple, you've taken a little bit of a back seat to this whole interaction. As you put in your own words, Lance and Mal have helped you pretty much without question in your quest to not only rid yourself of Teethar, but to fight against the Cult of the Dragon. And this is just a small thing that you can do to help Lance. And you see the interaction that Lance and Mal have with each other, as Mal checking in with Lance, Lance checking in with Mal. And you can't help but feel a little proud of your little group here, as you are the oldest one in wisdom, if not in age. You just think back to where your party has come from, all the way back to when it began in Greenest, all the way to now. And just take a deep breath and sigh as Mal joins you at your side. And both Mal and you are staring at Lance and Ralph a distance away, trusting, hoping, and Fleeple for you, praying.
Lance will kind of still sitting, kind of like cross-legged across from this tied-up figure.
We gotta stop meeting like this.
He will take out his dagger of venom
Oh no.
and kind of just holding it, kind of not toward him, but just holding it like in front of him, sitting there. We'll just say, How much do you know, Vandal?
How well do I know him? Like morning routine well? Like, is that what you're saying?
How well do you know him?
I mean, clearly I don't know him as well as you do. You guys have so much history. He's not looking to get rid of me.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going against every feeling that's inside of me right now. But I want you to know, one, if you dare to even do anything besides what you've promised us, I will make it a personal goal of mine to kill you with this dagger, like I've already done. Have my friend Fleeple bring you back just to do it again. Second, you need to be careful. You're clever. I'll give you that. Didn't even feel you steal that tooth off me. But I thought I was clever. With Vandal. Do you know what he did to me?
I could guess.
You don't have to. And Lance will unbutton his top collar. And Ralph sees deep, almost unnatural scars. A scar going from one side of the neck to the other. And it's like a good, probably inch or more in depth. I thought I was clever. And this is what he does to clever people. So you can't be clever. You have to be smart.
You got... absolutely. I believe your threat of death. No doubts there. I know that Vandal will kill me if things don't play out right. Honestly, the fact that you're not dead means I am dead as soon as he learns that that's true. So it is to my benefit that you disappear, okay? And I would love to be there when you finally get to get him back, give him a scar like that. That would be a wonderful thing to see. And, maybe I can help you from inside, right?
Be smart.
Okay, how's this for smart? You once had me in a cage, made a deal after you let me free. I am currently, once again, tied up. You've got me. You got all the leverage, my man. Make a deal.
This is what I'm saying. You were clever, and you failed. And if you're clever again and fail, it's not just you, and it's not just me this time.
I'm going to get a little more serious and kind of look him in the face. I'm just so done. I'm still alive, you flippin' knucklehead. That's how clever I am. You're not even killing me right now. You're thinking about how I can help you. I am smart. I have stayed alive for so ridiculously long. I don't like Vandal. Think he's a terrible person. I've never done to a person, or I don't know, what were you, a kid when he did that to you? I'm gonna be just fine, okay? I will live or die by the same way that I have lived and not died so far. Unless you want to kill me. You can end my whole game right now.
I've been outvoted. And Lance will stand up, sheathe his dagger, and kind of walk to Fleeple and Malamar, buttoning up his collar before he gets there.
So we're agreed? We let him go?
Big breath from Ralph.
He's a crap stain, but he's clever enough and hopefully smart enough to be able to do something for our benefit.
You keep that bag of holding close to you, and I'll go untie him. Mal will go over and cut his bonds.
Okay, yes. Yes. Go team.
I suggest you get out of here before he changes his mind.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Can I have my stuff, please?
Lance will have his bag of holding and will put back the wardrobe, the remains of meat, the winged serpent clothes, the platinum, and the special thoughts journal.
Cool.
And Lance will, while he's holding the bag, kind of doing that, will also take out, I think that nothing that Fleeple and Malamar have really seen, a funny-looking tooth-shaped rock, and will drop it into the bag of holding.
His bag of holding?
Yes, his bag of holding. And will hand him his bag of holding.
You're giving the tooth away?
I'm giving him the tooth.
And I lean into Mal,
And I'm like, Ralph had one of those teeth that Mondath had this whole time?
What teeth that Mondath had?
Yeah, Mal never saw it.
Oh my gosh.
I was slaying people in the other room. 12 of them, if I remember correctly.
And when he drops that in and hands it to Ralph, he'll just be like, to help you be smart.
Okay, well, a bit
Jeremy's
of
buried,
advice.
by the way, outside of this cave. I could not stand him talking I had to bury him. He would not shut up. I had to
breathe
bury
under
him.
here.
Maybe like 3 feet. It was pretty deep. It was like a half a seashell
You know
knocking
what?
where he's at.
Funny enough, it's not the first time. Okay, great. This is awesome. I'm loving the synergy here. Do me a favor, please keep the mask in the box, okay? It magically keeps it from being seen if anyone is trying to scry for it or call for it or look for it. So it will be easier for me to convince them that I have it so long as it cannot be located with a spell.
You're going to pretend that you did recover the mask? Instead of pretending that it fell into the ocean with Mondas's body? Rezmir?
Rezmir's body, yeah.
It needs to be secured, otherwise people will be looking for it. Better for everyone if the danger is more of a leadership vacuum than an actual crisis.
Lance will nod.
And I don't know, maybe that tooth thing can help me kind of
Well,
convince
you were
them.
interested enough to try twice.
Is there anything of yours that I could perhaps snag there to prove that you're dead?
Ooh.
An item that he would know is yours. I can say that your body is buried in the sea below, that you died down there.
Lance will... Oh, man, you just want me to give away everything.
I'm offering you the status of a ghost, my friend. You will go from being on the radar of one of the most dangerous people in all of the Sword Coast to being a nobody that anybody is thinking about. Your group can move without interference. And I would so strongly suggest that you not try and pretend to be cultists again. You're not great at it.
You were fully aware of that.
You're way too nice.
Lance will take out of his pocket his yellow scarf and unfurl it to its unnaturally long length. And this is for everyone to see. About a third of this unnaturally long scarf is caked in crimson blood. And Lance will take out one of his knives, go to the non-blood part at the end, and just cut off, not a big chunk, but a chunk size of the clean part of the scarf, and hand it.
Lance, maybe you should cut your hand and put your own blood on it.
Is he still beaten up a little bit? Because I could just dab some blood off of his face. Is that
Yeah.
Points is he down to?
A little bit of dried blood.
I mean, the only person who got any healing was Ralph. So
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah. Lance will then just take his dagger that he used and he will cut a part of his, just a part of the hand, just a slice, and then just press that garment against it for a little bit, and then hand it.
Oh man, you are dangerous. I am
Yes.
very interested to see what happens with you, man.
Oh, you won't.
Okay.
We're ghosts.
Legitimately,
Fleeple, do you just,
I love
walk
you.
back
I
going-
legitimately love you. You're my favorite. Gosh, and I said, you know what? Here, and I pull off my ring, and I go, actually be ghosts, and I hand you my ring of silence. I hand it to Fleeple. I like
Ooh.
Fleeple. So
The one who slapped you.
yeah. He's wearing on me. The slaps endeared me a little bit. So I'd like to give it to him and just say, this is a very useful piece of equipment that I don't know if Thomas ever imagined I'd give you.
Did you see the shock on his face?
This is a homebrew item.
It's a homebrew item?
Oh, wow.
It's how I was able to stuff a giant box into my bag of holding without
Yeah.
anybody noticing.
I heft the coin kind of reverently, and I reach into my own satchel, and I pull out an unopened package of guanciale that I've been holding on to this entire time, and I pass it over to Ralph in return.
Okay.
As this very heartfelt, tense, moment ends, Fleeple, you have something else.
Do you know anything about
This, and I pull out the worm box and I show it to him.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember a worm box in the notes that you gave me, Thomas. Do I?
No, this is not.
It's a total running gag.
It's a worm, like a box of regular worms.
No,
It's a box
one
with
worm.
a single dead,
Dead
worm.
worm.
That
Two
has
masks on it.
Yeah.
I go, whoa, buddy. Wow. You're going to have to keep that one. That's too hot for me.
I knew it.
And I put it back in my satchel.
Listen, if we all survive this whole dragon cult thing, we should really, not meet ever again.
Oh, we won't. You can't meet with a ghost.
Finger guns.
I've got to go dig my stupid sword out of the stupid sand.
While Ralph is giving the ring to Fleeple and they're having their kind of interaction, Mal comforts Lance, knowing how special, not maybe to the extent how special that kind of the scarf is, but obviously it's very sentimental to him and how difficult that must be, and just all of the emotion that they've been going through this whole time in the cave, and the ups and the downs and the rut in the sand going back and forth. She just comforts him with a steadying hand on his shoulder, and gives him very much the same look, and I don't know if vibes is the right energy of that he gave Mal that brought her away from the ledge to kind of try and bring him back to an equilibrium.
Well, this really tense moment is coming to a conclusion. Ralph walking away, being allowed to go away after pulling Jeremy out, shaking the sand off of him, wiping him down, as Ralph just doesn't go up the steps. He just keeps walking down the sand, walking farther and farther and farther and farther away. The three of you just stand there watching him walk away until you can't see him anymore. And the three of you take a deep collective sigh, deep breath as you smell the ocean water, and the three of you just walk up to each other and give each other like a very warm, comforting hug to each other. We pan away from this image of the three of you just in a very loving, tight, comforting embrace. And that is where we're going to pan away and end tonight's episode of I Cast Fireball. Ralph, after preparing yourself and taking time to heal, talking with Jeremy, getting the necessary magic items it's taken for you to breathe water, to dive down, to be able to buffet the currents of the tumultuous waters below Lottie's place. You emerge cinematically like a fist rising through the ocean, breaking the surface of the ocean, purple robes in hand. The robes of Rezmir.
I imagine they're kind of ripped up.
Absolutely. They're tattered. They're shredded. They have... It's been a little bit of time. Not much, but a little. And they are shredded from her explosion, from her being immolated. And you swim back to that familiar sandy beach where you almost died by the Jank Squad.
Yes, exactly there. And I want to look for where they dumped out my bag.
Absolutely.
Some of the debris, the rocks and sticks and stuff.
Yeah, they didn't put everything back. In fact, they missed one thing.
Yeah, I'm going to sift through it until I can find that stone of sending.
You cradle it after being exhausted from all the swimming. And you hold it to your ear. And you reach out to Vandal.
Hello?
Ralph. Yeah,
Yes.
Ralph.
Yes.
What is it?
You send me on a crazy mission. Haha. Rezmir's dead. Okay. I have her robes.
What?
Lance is dead.
What?
There was a red wizard, a Thalen wizard, who is also dead.
After that, his silence is just on his end of the line here. But you hear breathing. You were sent on a reconnaissance mission, and at most, to take out Rezmir.
Yeah. How easy do you think that was going to be? You asked me to get that done. I worked myself into the good graces of that group, okay? I got them to let me tag along. This dude, Lance, is connected. He knew people in that building, right? We were in way deeper than we should have been, and it was too late. By the time I realized what was going down, we were already like in the, up in like the thralls of confrontation. I barely got myself out of that alive. And in truth, Vandal, it was Lance who saved me, and in so doing, doomed himself down the edges of the cliff into the waters below.
And you are positive that Lance Thalen is finally dead?
The only thing left of him is this ratty old scarf.
And this manic laughter comes from Vandal on the other side, uncomfortably.
I put a hand on Jeremy, and I'm like, oh man, this is so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's very manic. He goes, you had better be able to back that up when I see you next, Ralph.
Hey, come on, Vandal, baby. I'm your guy. Like,
don't you talk to me like that, Ralph.
Okay, yeah, no,
you're
absolutely
in deep water here.
Well, what? I did everything you asked. I did everything you asked. Listen, I can help you, okay? Listen, trust me, all right? This is my moment. You need somebody to help fill the vacuum here. Wouldn't it be better for you if you had a worm speaker that was favorable to you? Instead of putting your neck on the line, put my neck on the line. Make me your puppet.
After a brief pause, oh, my neck is not going on the line here, Ralph.
Uh-huh.
I'm coming to Neverwinter.
Oh, I don't know.
And I'll expect a full report of everything that's been going on. I want to see that Rezmir's dead. I want to see that Lance is dead. And then maybe we can talk about your worm speaker ambitions.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Vandal. You got it. You're the boss. I'll see you when you get here. I'll hold the place down till you get here.
There's silence on the other end, and the connection is, for the most part, severed. You are kneeling on the sandbank, holding this sending stone. These two pieces of garments, one recovered, one given to you, and on very thin ice, with Vandal here, when you hear footsteps come up behind you.
Did you bring a set of dry clothes for me?
And as you turn around, the orc, who's the bodyguard at Lottie's place, has a fresh towel draped over his arm, and a fresh pair of clothes. Dry clothes.
I knew I could count on you. Didn't I tell you? This is the kind of friendship that'll last. All right, hey, listen, you and me, we need to go have a talk with Lottie.
And the both of you walk up the stone steps etched into the side of the cliff, heading over to Lottie's place.
There we go. We don't
What
have
a
to pay Josh
satisfying
triple
arc
for another
end.
episode.
I cannot believe that worked.
We really just wanted you alive to have the option of possibly bringing you back later.
Yeah.
Possibly killing me at a later date.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. Oh, that was
Well,
so fun.
well, folks.
That was
we
so
have
fun.
made it.
That was awesome.
7 episodes with Josh, which are a blessed 3 extra episodes we were blessed with than what Josh and I originally talked about. We are so lucky.
No,
So
man, I was lucky.
Josh. Thank
This was
you
so much fun.
much for your sacrifice, for your help. It's just a ton of great moments. Inspiration for you, Josh, as you
I'll take
depart.
it. I'll take it.
For
Reed
Ralph.
never gave me inspiration.
And-
I'll just say I'll air some dirty laundry right now on Sneak Attack.
So, Reed, if you're listening, and
I
by
hope he's
golly,
not.
we're honored
Reed, I'm
if
so
you
sorry.
are.
He's gonna
You'll
DM
listen.
other games for me. I don't want him to hear that. That's the.
Oh man. Well, thank you again, Josh. Round of applause.
Thank you, guys.
Josh,
Thank you.
for joining us. I'm just gonna go and plug him right now. Go look him out at Joshua the Hippie or Josh the Hippie, I think, on Twitter. He's got Titans of Altera on Twitter as well, his ongoing campaign where he got first and second season. Of course, Sneak Attack, where him, Reed, and a bunch of other fantastic friends and actors just really ignite other people's love of D&D, including ours. So thank you, Josh. Thank you to the rest of my players. But thank you, listener, for joining us this week. It means the world that you take the time every week to listen, to shout us out, to reach out and let us know what you're loving, what you like to hear. And if you want to keep reaching out to us, message us on our social media feeds at ICASTFireball20 or use the hashtag ICASTFireball. Also, please leave us a 5-star review and so that we can know what you're liking about the show, and it gets our show into other people's recommended feeds. We, of course, have our email, icastfireball2020@gmail.com, where you can leave suggestions, possible shout-outs to other people, friends, fellow wacky adventurers, and moments that you like from the show as well. I want to give a shout-out to our sister podcast, Improv Tabletop, where they have an ongoing, fantastic Avatar Legends campaign. Yes, that is Avatar The Last Airbender. You've heard us harp about it for many, many weeks now, if you're a long-time listener. If you haven't listened to them yet, what are you doing? Go give them a listen. Go give them a 5-star review. Their content is fantastic and worth every minute of your time. Josh, anything else that you wanted to shout out in addition to what I shouted out?
No, I mean, I guess the only thing I'll say is, I mean, one of my favorite things to hear is that people are making new D&D podcasts, groups, content based off listening to stuff that we've done. That is the highest compliment, like, that, you know, you can ever hope for doing this and inspiring other people to do it. So if you're listening and you're waiting for something to push you over the edge to just start making something, consider this the push. Make something, go do something, be creative, and then tell us all about it. Like, come on, like then just be like, hey, here's the thing I'm doing. It can be cringy, awkward, terrible, awesome, it doesn't matter. Like, making is an act of effort, and it never comes out perfect right away. So, like, there's nothing like the present to do something that you've been waiting to do.
100% agree. Go do it. Follow your dreams. That's all we've got this week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends and fellow wacky adventurers. I'm Thomas, your DM, and until next time, around the table we've got
Malamara.
Lance Thalen.
Fleeple.
And Ralph's alive!
Let's keep that fire going, and we'll see you all next time.